But I should perhaps mention on some of the strategy that you can actually do with these. This is what he mentioned while I was fighting one of the boss, that I could use, I think, timeout, not just for like healing safety, but also to set up buffs and things, and to put out like tough wall on somebody and use Mi Amor to get my armor up. And then as soon as timeout wears off, use Wime, or Wimey. I use Wime to get even more time in which I can't, or in which I'm not getting hit. At the end of that path, though, you'll find a cave, and this is I think it's called the Kusa Canyon. But this place looks so cool, like with the overhang. Like, they don't do this anywhere else in this game, but it's so cool. I love it in here. There is a living toy in here that we're looking for, though. One of the last ones for us to collect. But then there's also, say, Sacrobat, where you sacrifice one living toy in order to attack the opponent. So, like, from before, you would use, say, Wime, and then maybe pay attention as about as soon as Wime was about to go down, use Sacrobat to, like, just get rid of it outright, but then just wreck the enemy. I'm sort of lost. Or if you wanted to, perhaps... Okay, I am so lost. This is the way I came in. This is the entrance. And then I got lost because I went up here. And I just looped around. And I came back out. And here we are. And not just Sacrobat, but you can maybe use something like Samurai right then to do a pretty good job. There's a lot of... And I'm sure I've shown off as many of them as I could. But there's a lot of interesting abilities that come from the various living toys. And everybody in here is a weenie. I have no idea at what point in the game they expected me to be in here, but most guides have you coming in here at, like, the end of the game. But if you come in here at the end of the game, you're just completely OP. This place is so cool. Look at it. I love that overhang on top, though. At one point, I know the path splits. Clearly not here, but at one point, the path splits. Guess that's it for that room. I need to fight some more guys to show them off, because otherwise we're not going to get much chance to... There was a guy back there, wasn't there? Little guys. Lizard man. I should heal. One damage. Y'all are pretty efficient. Pretty efficient at that whole killing guys thing. Okay, there's no way Spook can one-shot this guy, so I'll heal this next turn, and we'll go from there. He heals party greatly. Cupid heals party a little. That should be pretty good. Gonna do all you big ol' 1 damage to me again? Because I'll stab you in the face! Look at that hero pose. Okay, so this is one path you can go on. This is where the path splits. You can go in there, or you can go up here. I think they just rejoin in the next room, so it's not actually that big a deal. Yeah, and you get that little dip. And then this over here is where the other path comes out. I love that they put little currents and stuff in the water. Like, I just love this dungeon. That you're running on, like, this really shallow water and, like, the foliage going up over the top. I love this dungeon. But they put little bits and pieces of effort into it. Like, you could see the water hitting a little, like, rough spot right there. And it goes over here where it's all going down a little bit, and maybe that's necessary in order to make it more obvious that it's water, but it feels sort of like it was unnecessary and that they just kind of did it for the extra touch of it. I think that's super cool. Oh, and now we're in a cave, water cave. There's a hill here. Hill here, and if you backtrack a little bit, hidden behind this waterfall is a living toy. The ninja. Uses secret ninja moves. Where am I going? I'm going up. There's a straight line, I got lost. Is this the end? This is very near the end, I'm sure. This looks a lot like the end. Yeah, that's the end. Okay, so before we do this, I'm going to grab a spoo. I'm going to equip the heat ring because this is a boss coming up, and he has an attack that will actually freeze you, like encase you in ice, freeze you. And kind of a crap deal. You know what? I don't need to carry all of these around anymore. Also got a cheeseburger at some point. That would be the Holy Dragon. That would be the sea serpent that we saw out and about that wrecked our ship. And no, that was Calcanor. It's not us. I'd be happy to give it back to you. I don't actually know where it is. Oh, our team has got him. Carmine's got him. No, we're just a little OP. Well, crap. But this would be the 5th and final of the various holy beasts. And other than the dragon, we've now gotten the chance to fight all of them. Okay, so I'm gonna start by bringing out me some... You know what? Let's bring out... Avalanche. Do your thing. He's a rock. Megastone. I think that can confuse you, which is sorta crap. What else would be good? Pyro would maybe? No, water would be good against fire. I guess wind would be kind of neutral. Water would probably not be great either, so I'll bring out Windmeister and we'll go from there. I think there's only the 4 elements. Like, I think the elemental wheel is a 4-element wheel. But yeah, like, especially if this guy's water-based, then Avalanche should be wrecking him. Because I imagine if anything is strong against... Yep, there's the Ice Breath. Now Spoo's iced. I can break him out by doing that, which will break the ice, and now Spoo's back. Yay! This is probably a horrible thing that we've done. D'Artagnan. Yeah, I'm kind of with Nahani on this one. I feel kind of crap about having to do that, but we had to collect all the living toys. And yeah, there was that. Alright, well, let's get the crap out of here. Hey, Foreman. We still do not have all of the living toys. However, we have all the living toys that we can collect through normal means. There are still 2 last ones that we can get. And we actually have to have every living toy in the game except for those 2 in order to get the next one. I want to point out one thing real quick. It has felt a lot like there wasn't a lot of optional content in this game for whatever reason, but thinking back on it, there's actually a lot of optional content in this game. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you didn't have to do. I kind of did it anyway, but you were never actually required to go there. Going through Coosa Canyon back there was one of them. Entirely optional. I could have gone off and fought the final boss or whatever. So that was one. Another one was just saving all of the towns from the gargoyles and stuff running around. I don't think we had to do that at all. Marco, up in the one northern town, mayor guy. The whole thing where he was kind of kidnapped by the cult. I don't think we had to save him. Like, there's actually a surprising amount of, like, really optional stuff in this game. I still feel like I would have liked it if there was a lot more fun stuff. Like, especially once you got the ability to fly, all these little oddball places that you couldn't get to before, I kind of wish had something there. I don't know what they would put there other than more living toys or some such. But I feel like they should have done something. Maybe a side quest where you had to get a bunch of key items and stuff. Because, like, honestly, there are very few key items in this game. Like, maybe a side quest where you had to go collect a bunch of key items from a bunch of oddball little places and you didn't even realize it, but, like, maybe at the end of the game, once you had all of these key items, you could turn them in for another living toy or something. A really good one or something. I don't know. Overall, I really like the way this game handles a lot of things. You can kind of tell that it was smaller scale than a lot of other RPGs, though. I'll have JRPGs. But what are you gonna do? Where we're going, by the way, and why I'm flying halfway across the map, is we're actually heading over to Zeppeto's Island, which is the island we just arrived at. Zeppeto's shop should be right across this mountain here, where a while back we met Zeppeto's grandson? Great-grandson? Something of the sort. But yeah, met him. He was right in here. And now that we have all of the living toys in the game, save 2, we can go up here and speak to him. All of this time, Zeppetto Jr. has actually been the ghost of the real Zeppetto. only wanting to help everyone by continuing to produce living toys. Having collected all of them, and him having finally completed Legend, he's finally confident enough to pass on Proper. If you check Legend, Dr. Zeppeto's final masterpiece. Legend works a lot like the other ones, like Windmeister, or Pyro, or Avalanche, or whatever. It's one that you can summon out, and he'll just do a bunch of damage. I'm pretty sure it's just straight up non-elemental bunch of damage. The other one that we got a little while ago was D'Artagnan, which causes damage with a silver spear, works much like Legend. In fact, now that I have these two, they are a lot more expensive to bring out. But now that I have those two, I don't have much in the way of reason to continue using Pyro and Windmeister and everything. These guys are just more powerful, hands down. And I said before that there were, in fact, 2 living toys left. Which means 1 last living toy remains. You can only get that living toy after you have Legend. Thankfully this time our trip isn't very far. We're going home. Right across the river there is the town that we have lived most of our lives in. And if we go back here, and go to our own home, the blue-roofed little cabin here, and sleep on our own bed. I think we should bring it. After all, we don't have to use it. But it's nice to have, maybe in case of an emergency. And that is Peacemaker. Abilities unknown. Peacemaker is the most dangerous living toy ever created. One Dr. Zeppito himself even wanted to destroy. So I was wondering, they mentioned Championo, which I know I have, there you are, uses half your PP to punch away. So Championo takes half of however much PP you have and does a whole bunch of damage by punching. So Peacemaker is this amped up to 11. Peacemaker is not one that you want to use willy-nilly. See if I can find some poor sap. Peacemaker is very much a last resort. Something you only use when you know you don't have any other option. So there you have it. It will always bring you and Spoo down to 1 HP, empty your PP, and do a ridiculous amount of damage, in the thousands, to the enemy. Very much so a last resort. I'm also going the wrong way. But that is it. We now have every living toy in the game. We've completed every little side quest and side area in the game, at the very least that I know of. So until next time, everyone, there's little left for us to do but to go face Zizan.